And welcome back to the Zolteus Gaming Channel. I am your host Zolteus. Back with another episode of Empire Sin. We're still trying to learn how to play the game, so let's get right into it. All right. So one thing that we did talk about is pausing the game. I highly recommend to do it often because a lot of stuff happens in in this city, especially when this right here is just a neighborhood. You keep zooming out. You know, as you can see, we've got 5 neighborhoods to worry about, and it's gonna get hectic, to say the least, if you're not paying attention to what's going on. So, first things first, let's take a look at the Empire overview. You know, you've got synergies, alcohol production, neighborhood bonuses, so on and so forth. And according to this, in this neighborhood, the Fulton Market, there are 3 other bosses here. So, at least at a minimum, you know what's going on. They also each own 7 places in this neighborhood. There are a lot of places. Just to give you a quick idea, you can see 6 open places that you could attack, and 2 that you could just outright buy. So, and then these tell you safe houses. So weirdly enough, there are quite a few boss safe houses here, and we'll talk about why that's interesting a little bit later. Also, you can see unknown agents walking around. If they're grayed out, you don't know who they belong to. Which at this point is fine, we don't care. Apparently, these guys have an exterminate agenda as well. If they have a little target, that means they're looking for something to attack. But either way, we go back to the Empire screen here. You can do it by neighborhood. See, as you can see, there are 5 total neighborhoods. You can see who has a faction presence in these neighborhoods. And if you click this button, this middle button right here, this is the Empire Overview. And the Empire Overview allows you to see, you know, what the buildings are in your neighborhood, but specifically what type of racket it is, and then what you've upgraded for these rackets. So if I wanted to check out, say, my speakeasy, I could click the star spot, and up comes the overview of the star spot and your upgrades. Upgrades are a big deal. It's going to help you make money and keep your rackets safe. So obviously security. As you can see on the right hand side, description is current. The current level is level 2, which means it's $2 upkeep plus 50 security, which
what's human care?
all
Humana? It's listening and acting. It's talking to
apparently
a doctor or helping
something
find cheaper
has a
prescriptions
commercial
before
going
you
on in one
It's
of
our
my other
superpower. That's human care.
in one of my tabs. Weirdly enough, what a surprise! But basically, there are importances to all of these. You can read, you know, what's going on with these. The biggest thing for security is your total number of guards. All right. So right now I have 5, 2 external guards, so 2 guys that hang out in front of the building, and then 3 inside that hang out inside the building. So if for some reason, I mean, because obviously the boss can't be everywhere, right? If one of your buildings gets attacked, there is a percentage attached to whether or not your external guards will be able to take out the attacking force, and whether your internal guards will be able to take out the attacking force. The nice thing about it is, if for some reason you are not going to be able to get your boss over to that building to help protect it, the number of guards will assist in helping determine the fight. And the reason I say that, obviously, it makes sense for the most part, but when you get into a battle, you have the choice to take over actions of those guards, or if you want to play the percentages. Most of the time, external guards, they're going to get wiped out, period. It's going to happen. The internal guards, though, as you can see, the external guards doesn't go up with this next upgrade, but the number of internal guards do. So the more you invest in security, the more likely of a chance you have to defend your building, specifically inside. So be aware of that. Then we have deflect. Deflect just decreases the chance of raids, and raids are not when other bosses come to attack you. That's when the police comes to shut you down. And if they do successfully raid, and what I mean by successfully is they just straight shut it down, then it's down, period. So you want to up deflect as much as possible. As you can see, my speakeasy is already garnering 40 suspicion, which means if the cops feel the need to raid it, it's based on suspicion. Ambience basically adds draw, but it also draw for customers to come in and actually check out your place. But more specifically, it makes it more profitable. It makes it more lucrative. So I always up ambience more often than anything else. The problem is, with the exception of maybe word of mouth, which we'll talk about the pros and cons of that in a second, you actually need to upgrade everything. I mean, you can, based on your boss, you can pick and choose certain things. Security, you should always upgrade. Ambient, you should always upgrade. Deflect, I mean, it really depends. It really depends on what your suspicion is and the specializations of your bosses. Some bosses are very good at decreasing raid chance for specific types of establishments. So, you need to keep that in mind. Now, word of mouth, this is, you let people know, people let other people know, people let even more people know, so on and so forth. However, it increases the chance of raids and negative events. So you get more people to show up, but you also have the potential for bad things to happen. So it's a mixed bag. To be perfectly honest, I have never upped word of mouth more than 3. Especially in my places that I have a boss that can decrease raid chance. So, if you're feeling frosty, maybe you could up it to 5 and maybe let me know how it works for you. But either way, and then you click these buttons and it'll cycle through. As you can see, brewery's a little bit different. You have to deal with production, alcohol quality, and storage. And the reason that dealing with alcohol quality and storage is important is because when it comes to satisfying the customer, right? And that's your breweries are going to provide alcohol to your speakeasies and to your brothels. Well, if you click on this little alcohol info tab here, you'll see that you have 2 production facilities. You have your safe house and your actual brewery. Well, this is the kind of alcohol that you are producing right now. And since we only have the first level of alcohol quality for both of our places, we can only produce swill, which is meh. It's the worst kind, right? Obviously, poison is the worst kind, but swill is the bottom of the barrel, no pun intended. Well, when you click this right here, this is your consumption tab. And in Fulton Market, we're producing swill, but people want top shelf right now. They want, I want to say that's tier 3. That's tier 3 booze. And that, I mean, we have to do some upgrading if we want to produce anything other than poison and swill. If you match what is being preferred in your neighborhood, you make a little bit more money. The prosperity will tell you, and prosperity and types of alcohol that are preferred change every month. So as you can see, March 30th, here in 2 game days, this has the potential to change, and this has the potential to change. So it's things you have to keep track of. Then you have storage, right? So right now, I have 2 sets of storage. I'm not storing any poison. I have 20 swill. I'm trying to remember. This is rack. I have 50 rack just at my safe house. Then you have top shelf. You have, I want to say that's preferred, and then this is whiskey. So keep that in mind, because it's something that it's one of the few things that you'll truly have to micromanage, because I believe it changes by week, not by month. I apologize. So every week there's the potential for alcohol preference to change, and I want to say it's every month that the prosperity changes. We'll clarify that later. But either way, that's the alcohol. You go back here, you can pick whichever one you want. You can keep track of your upgrades. It's a nifty little screen, and then you can see customers in your speakeasy. You are full. You have 50 out of 50 customers, so that's great. And because you have 50 out of 50 customers, you are doing pretty good as far as average spend per customer. There aren't a whole lot of places out there that are doing better than you. As a matter of fact, there isn't one that's doing better than you. You have 2 that are, 3 that are matching you, and everyone else is less. So, as you can see, preferred top shelf. This also gives you the overview of what people are looking for. So, you can use this as you want. It's a great little screen, and then you can take a look at the finance. It will tell you what your net income is from all of your rackets. It will tell you the changes you've made in 1920 treaty, so on and so forth. And this basically will just tell you your rackets. So if you don't want to go here and try to potentially find your own place, even though it says player, you can straight go here, click, and it will take you. The other thing you can do here is you can take a look at your crew, and this will allow you to inspect your crew better. We need to do that because I pre-ordered this game, which means we got a few special perks. One of those is a couple of pretty decent weapons. Now, it looks like he likes the shotgun, right? So let's give him the golden Auto 5 shotgun, which came with pre-order. So as you can see, right now he's working with a 27 to 30 damage, 60 overwatch angle, 60 shotgun angle, 8 overwatch range, 8 shotgun range, so on and so forth. Whereas this has way better, plus it has a much better crit chance. So, longer range, better crit chance, better crit damage, just better damage. So, you are absolutely taking that. You can give him a different gun, 14 to 16 to 15 to 18. It's, not that great. Plus, this has a better crit chance. So, we're going to say no to that. Do we have any armor? We do not. Here's where you can hold 2 different items. It doesn't, just because this says grenade doesn't mean you have to put a grenade there. Just for a heads up. And this is the melee weapon you would use if you were in melee. You can also change the different types of ammo. We're not there yet. We're gonna take a look at that more. I just want to make sure that I'm properly prepared because I need to be properly prepared. So now that we've got that taken care of, the other thing that we will talk about is diplomacy. Not going to talk about it a lot, but the only faction that we have met is the police. Wanted suspect, you can also see what your faction rating is with that faction, which in this case 0, it's just wanted suspect, and threat value. So as threat value goes up, it means they are more and more wary of you. You can also check out, I have 5 notoriety and I have no honor. You gain honor by making deals with other bosses and actually keeping them. Have money. You can also talk. In this case, with the police, bribe to improve relations. You can request protection, but you need very specific situations to do that. In this case, I need to be an honorary deputy for so. Same with this. You can use this to have them turn a blind eye to you, kind of like in Grand Theft Auto 5 if you've played that. It costs $100,000, so you need to be making some pretty decent bank. And right now, my clean slate is $5,000. That's a steal right now. As soon as you start doing or taking rackets or doing bad things, that's when this starts to go up exponentially. The biggest way that you can help yourself is don't do anything that really draws the suspicion. And if you want them off your backs, bribe to improve relations. So as you can see right now, I'm a wanted suspect. But I can up that by 11 by giving them $17,000. Now, I'm not going to do that. And you can actually fail the chance. Like, you could give them that money, they take it, and you still don't get the rating gain. So, keep that in mind. But that's that tab. Here you have agendas. So you have a patrol, so on and so forth. It's telling you what they're doing as far as what they're looking for, stuff like that, if you have eyes on it. And then faction ratings. So, as you can see, we are at the bottom of the barrel of all of these factions. We need to change that. However, we're not going to do that this episode. I wanted to show you those. In the next episode, we're going to go over how these can help for the most part. You've seen these, so we won't spend too much time on these. But I know we didn't get into any action, but I wanted to make sure you guys understood these. So when we do take over our racket, you'll know why I pick what I pick. So that's going to do it for this episode. Like and subscribe for more content. And as always, I will see you in the next video.